Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato, about 5 minutes before noon. Fast main track, all weather to Peter. And please note that we are off the turf one more day. I'm guessing, Brian, we'll be back tomorrow.
I hope. You saw the rains behind us yesterday, and that really wasn't part of the plan either. So it is what it is, but you can see the sunshine behind us. Nice cool breeze here, actually, today as well. So hopefully we'll dry it out. Hopefully there's a rain is behind us, too. We've got a good weekend, I'll tell you what, that TT Pick 3 tomorrow, which is the 3 turf races, is a real beast. So hopefully we are on the grass tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's supposed to have beautiful weather all weekend long, but it is South Florida, and the old joke, stick around 5 minutes and you'll see a different weather pattern or something like that. So we're dealing with a fast main track in race number 1. We got 75,000 estimated in the Rainbow Six pool. We had a single yesterday, right? Then we have a couple of singles, and one of them finished second yesterday. You see it's 75,000 today. So that takes care of all the early stuff we wanted to tell you about. So we're going to jump right into today's card. First race today is going to be 6 furlongs. It's a claiming event for 4-year-olds and up who never won 3 in life. No scratches in the race. Kicks off Brian's early pick 5.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now. $36. Had to rework this with the off the turf races. Race number 2 is the big one there. The 5 on top for me, Majestic Drive, but maybe not the strong opinion anymore. Race number 3, the 5 again, that's Swinging Solo. Race number 4, a late scratch was my long shot. That's the 2, Amen McLaren. So I scratch into the 1, Bourbon Outlaw. And in race number 5, I'm going to single the 3, Breakwater. Now that's off the turf onto the Tapeta, the big scratch of Kerouac. So I'll single Breakwater in there. And, of course, Alistair, too, is out, Ron.
Yeah, so, those races are switched around a little bit. I got a long shot a little later on the card. Could actually use it for turf or Tapeta, so I left it in there today. But maybe I liked it a little bit more in the turf. We'll talk about that in a while. Let's get right into this first race, Brian. The current favorite is the 5 right now, and that's Impromptu from Kent Squeeze. Is that where you went?
It is. It's not, actually, Ron. Excuse me. I went to the other favorite. That's David's Song on the outside, because if nothing else, David's Song, I don't like blowing a big length lead late last time, but is proven at the level and is in relatively good form for Jen Young and Powder Pop, whereas Impromptu, off a no-show in January, off a June layoff, all of a sudden now in for 8, and that worries me. And you didn't go with either of them either.
No, I didn't go with the 7. The reason for that is that horse is skipping a condition.
Yeah.
This is 3, so I just backed off. I don't like when they do that. I did go with the 3, and here's 16 cigarettes, and I liked a little bit of a turn back to 3/4 of a mile. Thought this horse ran well in its last couple of races, and I don't know if there's a difference between 12.5, 3 lifetime, or 8,000, but 8,000 where this horse did its best running. So I'm going to go with this horse on top, 16 cigarettes.
Yeah, I think this horse is a big player as well. We're both pretty leery of the potentially vulnerable heavy favorite, so I don't blame you at all.
Let's show a stat with Ken Squeezy on that horse. Maybe this will help you figure it out. That's on the number 5, Impromptu. And you can see first off the claim dirt sprints in the past 5 years. Not that good.
Not that good at all. And then just further it, he claimed this horse for 20, and now you can have him for 8 off a really... Now, with that being said, that was a very fast race for the level beastly speed we saw the other day, but it's all kind of there in front of you. You might want to just be a little careful here. This horse is going to continue to get better. This is not early money. This is pretty much where that horse is supposed to be.
Second race this afternoon, originally scheduled for 1 mile on the turf, now to be run at 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. It's a maiden claimer, and these are 3-year-old fillies. We're going to scratch the 1, Lady River Lily, and the number 3, Miss Banks. And interesting way to go in here with race 2. You did go with the 5. You mentioned Majestic Drive.
Yeah, I'll tweet the early pick 4 out a little later. It's just a run back of my ticket. Majestic Drive is just a big maiden special weight dropper from Tampa. Now the Tapeta kind of throws a little monkey wrench into the situation here, but Majestic Drive on a big drop from a bad post at Tampa. Didn't run a lot that day. That's the the B leagues over there, so to speak. So now Brendan Walsh brings her over here for the tag, for the drop, and if you're going to wake up, it's today. I like to see that Irad rode too.
Yeah, with the number 2 pretty thing in here, if you look at, just we're from post 10, albeit that was on the turf. What I like, they found this horse's level. The horse ran much well. Now, the last time this horse rode the Peter was maiden special weight. So this horse has found its proper level. I think is going to be, right there at the wire with Tyler Gaffalione for Jorge Delgado. Now, you want to show a video of the horse that I could never catch.
Nope.
Gulfstream Mary D. I'm wrong with this one every time so far.
Well, you set me up nicely on the video, and I left this video in even though it's on turf because you said you could never catch. Well, they always catch Gulfstream Mary D. Here she is freewheeling on the lead on the turf. She did the same exact thing on the Tapeta 3 starts back, and that's why I wanted to show it. And she zipped along here. I don't want to beat her up too much, and she did run 3rd in this spot. But my point is you're supposed to win right now, okay? She was supposed to win on the Tapeta 3 starts back as well, and she just can't quite see it out. And it's a lot easier to wire on turf than it is on Tapeta going long. So I would just be very leery of her. She seems to want to find 1 or 2 better, Ron.
Yeah, I put her in 3rd for those reasons. Just meant she'll hold on and get a share. Going to flip the page, go to race number 3, and it's going to be a mile, 70 yards on the Tapeta. These are claimers, and they are 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. Clean slate, no scratches, jockey changes in here. Kick it off with your 5 swinging solo.
Well, we just got the exacta backed up. That's all. This is Kent Sweezy off the claim. We've talked about it. Kent is going so good here. He might pick one up in the opener at the short price that we talked about just a second ago. We're off the claim immediately to the Tapeta. Kent won off the claim to the Tapeta last week, albeit with a Bashero, she was supposed to run well on the Tapeta, but this is a son of Practical Joke, excuse me. He's probably not that kind of turf horse. Captain was a big dropper in the last start. He hardly disgraced himself after a slow beginning. He had a little trouble too. I would think he's dangerous in here, Ron.
Like you said, we have our exacta flip-flop, the 3 River of Time. Ronnie Spat's going to take the blinkers off this afternoon and drop this horse down. If you look at this horse, has run well on the Tapeta in the past. Got the win at 25, came back and ran 3rd. Against 35 optional claimers, both of those going long on the Tapeta. They tried the turf last time out, didn't work. Trying a couple of things today, taking the blinkers off and putting it back on the Tapeta.
That race 2 back is probably going to win this race. Criollo is pretty good, and he had it going on off a couple straight wins, so that was a good effort and probably good enough to beat this field today.
And I look at the 2 legal maneuver. This horse threw wrong. They dropped it down, ran well last time out at a mile in the 16th on the Tapeta. Good connections with Carlos David, Miguel Vasquez.
You know what I want to mention? I should have mentioned it on the 3, but I can mention it on the 2. They are 3-year-olds. The 2, 3, 4, and 7 are 3-year-olds. We actually saw it win yesterday. Kerry Bryan, first-time starter. That's not the point, though. Major disadvantage on March 6th testing older horses.
We'll see how that plays out. Now, you always mark that down. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian are going to kick off race number 4 in the Rainbow 6, mile and 70 yards, maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. And once again, we tell you about that. And Brian's long shot 2, Amen McLaren, was declared out of this race right before we went on the air. And also note the jockey change on the 6. The rider will be Emicil Jaramillo. Joel Rosario up a couple of mounts there today. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at my ticket here. and it is $38.40. We'll talk about this fourth race. Fifth race confused me when it was moved to the Tapeta, so I went 4 deep. Race number 6, I went 2 deep in there. I think the top pick for me is With Kindness in there for David Fawkes, but I also used the 2, Chit Chat, Chit Chat. Race number 7, I'm going to go with the 2 once again on Blueberry Hill. I'll sing that song a little later. And then the 1 Horse Quinn's Promise. Race number 8, here's where I'm swinging for the fences with my long shot. You Need Me. 15-1 on the morning line. We're being attacked by some kind of little bugs in here. And then in the last race, just 2 for me. That one is, by the way, that 8th race off the turf. 9th race, just 2 for me. 5 and 2. The 5 being Gigi's Story. We got a video we're going to show you with that. So heavy and early on, and then praying later on in the card.
Well, you hit it Sunday, so you know what you're doing, that's for sure. It wasn't easy on Sunday, on mandatory day, so kudos to you, and as we say every day, 2 singles yesterday in the finale. Get involved. You got a chance here.
Yeah, we told them early on that's the day. You can take a good shot with them. Yeah. So let's go to this race, Brian. How did you start it off?
Well, again, I scratch into the 1. Now, we can start with the replay, too, guys, if you would. Bourbon Outlaw, De La Cal, and Devilment. All you're going to see, my top pick is, honestly, that's the one I wanted to show you because Amen McLaren had trouble here. File that into the bag for next time. Bourbon Outlaw ran well. I don't want to take anything away from him. He ran very well for Mark Hennig here. It was a good effort. You can see De La Cal is in the mix as well. They all get swooped by First Shot Fired, who we'll see tackle winners on Saturday on that card in a Tapeta race, and a good Tapeta race. I thought this was a good effort by Bourbon Outlaw. I wanted Amen McLaren, but now I guess the race goes through him, Ron. He is, Irish Wish I have favored in here. But he's one of the ones, Bourbon Outlaw.
Yeah, I ended up going with Irish Wish in there, and I thought that was the logical one. But, a little bit of a drop, showed some good speed last time out. I like the fact that Dylan Davis is staying aboard. And this horse, maybe the little cutback to the mile at 7 yards is just what this horse needs. Lightly raced, has run well. Maybe that's the one to beat in there.
Yeah, and you know what, too? You have to mention this now. That was no great shakes that we just showed you, and he's not coming out of that race, and people are going to like that.
Yeah. Let's go to race 5 this afternoon. Mile and the 16th, originally on the turf, now to be run on the Tapeta. Same exact distance. 4-year-olds and up, which was never won 3 in life. Scratch the 2 Kerouac that seems to scratch every week. And then scratch the 4 Alice Dare. The jockey on the 7 is Miguel Vasquez. My late pick 5 looks a lot like my pick 4. We could show it. Let's take a quick look. We'll just, basically what I just did with the Rainbow 6, $32. So as that, if you agree with me with the Rainbow 6, jump aboard with the late pick 5. Interesting to see, Brian, with the move to the main track, how you went in here. Did you go with 3 Breakwater?
Yeah, I think he's going to be tough in here now because not only is he dropping in class and going off the claim, for Mike Maker, he's got proven Tapeta form. It wasn't a great effort 2 starts back, but it was for 35, and that's a pretty salty group when you're talking about 17-5 now. He gets a few turf horses that are theoretically playing a game that he's okay at. That was his only Tapeta race, too. It's probably better than these, so I'll put him on top.
Remington, the number 6, this horse has been basically on the Tapeta all along. I guess they were trying to turf today to wake him up, or maybe that was the plan. They thought it might come off. This one's got some tactical speed. Did not run badly, in its last race.
No, Scott Acker claimed him 3 starts back, and he's kept his form okay. The Winooski race, the second, Winooski's okay on the Tapeta. So it wouldn't shock me, Ron, if he's your post-time favorite, but I just got to – the barn's just been a little cold, and I'm going to try to beat him.
Yeah, and get ready to rock him, man. When the Andy Williams over there, first off the claim for him, originally, Miguel Vasquez a ride. Hey, throw it on. We got basically the same super in there, after coming off the turf.
Yeah, just quickly, that horse is 2 for 2 on Tapeta. Yeah. He's a little slow when he's rising in class, but don't think he's 15-1. That's a turf morning line. He's way lower than that.
Race number 6 this afternoon is 6 furlongs, a mile and the 16th on the Tapeta. These are maiden state-bred. No, they're state-bred. Yeah, Philly 3-year-olds. No scratches in this race. 7 will go to the post. Kicks off our late pick 4. Brian Stickett. Check it out.
Take a look at it now. I'll go 4 deep in here. I don't have a strong opinion in race number 6. race number 7, 2 deep. I've got the 4 Ruth on top, the 2 Pletcher runners. That's a very good optional claimer. We're going to send horses to the Gulfstream Park Oaks off that race. Race number 4, I have my best bet. I'm going to leave her on top, but I'm not going to call her a best bet anymore because the 6 La Amazania I wanted on turf, not Tapeta, and I went 4 deep in there instead. In race number 9, I've got the 2 Long Gone Sally over Gigi Story. We'll show you why coming up in a little bit.
Yeah, I got those 2. That's how my ticket says similar to yours, except for race number 8, where I'm sort of swinging for the fences in there.
15-1.
Yeah, 15-1. We'll see what that it's going to be a price. I don't think it'll be 15-1 with the scratches in that race. Race number 6 this afternoon, as we mentioned, a mile in the 16th. And how did you see it here? You went with the 2 Chit Chat, Chit Chat.
Chit Chat, Chit Chat. That's a fun one to say, right? Sprinted on the dirt on debut, and that's not what a daughter of Twirling Candy, who's out of an Empire mare, wants to do. The other thing, too, that was an open maiden special weight race. She gets to run against Florida breds today for Trombo, a live oak homebred with a nice pedigree. Irad's going to get aboard as well. And on the stretch out, I wouldn't even shock me at all if Irad just says, you know what, we're going to take the initiative and try to lead these the entire way.
Well, with Kindness is the morning line favorite, and that's where I went. But I look down and I see David Forks. I've got to be interested in anything he's doing. Now, what he's doing today, we'll show you a stat on it with Kindness and to see if this helps you decide. And it's Sprinter Roots, dirt to Tapeta the past 4 years. 15%, so it's good numbers. 45%, it's not many, small sampling, but it's good. David Forks is just having a banner campaign, so this horse, I left it on top, but it's got to answer those questions about Tapeta and going long.
Tapeta for sure. The going long shouldn't bother her because she's bred for it. Spun to run out of a Gradar mare. Gradar was really good here at Gulfstream Park on main track, obviously. I think her overall form, here's the thing with her, she's got good form. The thing with the 2 is you're kind of betting her on the come because her form, she got beat up pretty good on debut, but you're just hoping for improvement today.
Yeah, and you also got Lindsay Smiles in here, and this one tried the turf last time out. This is a classic horse to put on the bottom part, for the Tri-Supra. Edgar Zayas, this horse, I think, can grab a little bit of a share.
Yeah, can grab a share, I think. Maybe, you said it perfectly underneath to me. I don't know about a win candidate, though.
And Starship Melody, you could look at it. I like the fact Heather Smolin putting the blinkers on. Another barn that needs to get a little more luck, when they're doing here. Race number 7, mile in the 16th, first finish line, Dennis. This is an allowance optional claimer, and it is for 3-year-old fillies. No scratches, jockey changes in here, and killing some bugs. We're being attacked here this afternoon. And what'd you say? How'd you say it?
I think we're being attacked here this afternoon. 2 replays here. I'll talk about my top pick quickly, then we'll get to the replays in here. Ruth, we're going to call her the other Todd Pletcher, right? She's a daughter of Uncle Mo. She won a very, very slow race on debut here at 60 cents on the dollar for Pletcher. She's a homebred. But today, off a she got beat up in the Bazanda. She was beaten 15 lengths, a 9-furlong race. That's tough to do on your second start. Blinkers and Lasix today. It's a short stretch finish line, as Ron said. She'll be a much better price than her stablemate. I'll give her a shot.
She was basically eliminated at the start in that race. If you look back, it says it stumbled bad at the break, so don't know how much that affected it, so you see how that plays out in there. Let's show the video of Blueberry Hill, because that's what I had on top, and as I promised a little later on, I will sing the whole song.
She was very good, a homebred for Michael Tabor, and those silks go all the way back in America to Thunder Gulch in 1994, 1995, an old Florida Derby winner. I loved him. These silks are still very viable today, and she's getting nagged the entire way by a 4-5 favorite, and she looked over and just laughed at her. And this is tough to do, Ron. 7 furlongs. You know this. You say this all the time, how difficult this distance is. She was taking the worst of it the entire way. Watch her level off in the lane. A daughter of Munnings will try to throw her hat into our Oaks and the Kentucky Oaks kind of ring today. She's not really bred for this trip fully, but this is a short stretch finish line. She's going to have to be she's going to be tough today.
Wow, she's going to be very tough. You would see the last 16th of a mile, he was just showing her the old Fisteris there. And that was it. He was just going down. She ran very well. But very interesting with the 4 in there, too.
Yep.
Now, the morning line favorite in here, I had this one in third, and you have it in third, and that's Justin Queso. And this one from Ian Wilkes. You got a replay you want to show here?
Yeah, I don't really get the hype, to be perfectly honest with you. They bet her so hard in the forward gal. For my money, she should still be a maiden. The winner, the race winner on debut should have never been disqualified. Now, she had a little trip here. You can see her checking a little bit, and she got sandwiched very slightly. She does have some run, and she's going to try to loop now. And it looked like she actually was making a move. The Queen's MG is trying to loop them as well. She came back to win on Saturday in the Devona Dale, and then all of a sudden she just stopped. And to be fair to her, Ian Wilkes, they have asked a lot of her in 2 starts. She didn't break her maiden. She didn't win the race, but she got DQ'd up. So now you got to go places. They run her in a grade 3 stakes. Didn't work out all that well for her. Now they're trying her 2 turns. She's by Go Sapper out of a Speightstown mare. She's bred for this. She will get Lasix. That was a very good race. The 2 Cox runners ran 1-2. We talked about the Queen's MG. I'm admittedly stubborn. I just don't really see all the hype with her.
You know, I really respect the connections. If they thought this horse was good enough to go into a grade 3, I got to think they have something special there. They think they have something special there, and I think you'll get to see that this afternoon. What about the number 1 horse I wanted to ask you about in here? That's Quinn's Promise. Dale Roman's boy, comes off the bench. I thought ran okay. This barn has been going so good. Second off the bench. Junior Alvarado and him have hooked up for some nice wins here. I thought maybe this horse can run well. Now, Dale was just on fire. He didn't really level off. He didn't start that many horses since he had that win of 5 at it, whatever it was.
But he's still going good. She looks a little slow to me. She is supposed to improve, as Ronnie said. Second off the layoff. She's got a good post here as well. She's underneath to me, if anything.
Let's go to race number 8. That was one that was scheduled for 5 furlongs on the turf, now to be run on the main track, on the Tapeta at the same distance, an allowance optional claimer, and they are 3-year-old fillies in here, and we did have a scratch in here of the number 3 horse, Make Haste, and I'll go with my long shot first.
Yeah.
Here's what I was doing with this horse. I'm talking about You Need Me. It was a sharp second in her turf debut at 2. Returns with Lasix. Now, she was facing stakes competition up in Woodbine on the Tapeta. Dave Ratty, very sneakily, is winning races at a 22% clip. If you look, the barn is 1 for 3 with a huge ROI of almost $8 with a 180-day plus layoff. I remember this horse. I remember how well this horse ran in that debut. That's where you won. You went to Europe and then comes back and runs really good breaks. It's maiden against state breds. They put in the stake up in Woodbine. Something happened. Comes back. I think this horse sneakily can run well on turf or Tapeta.
Well, if she breaks running, she's going to have speed, and that's a big deal. On the Tapeta, you need speed. I don't think the 1 horse is a threat to be on the lead. Certainly the 4 is, but you said it perfectly, Dave. Very quietly is 8 for 18 in the exacta with 4 wins. We're going to get Lasix too. You're going to get a price as well.
Yeah, you get a price. And, you got one of our favorites who brings in many, many long shots all winter and summer long, and that is Lionel Reyes. Now, you started it off with the number 6, Lee Amazonia. Now, this was the horse to beat on the grass without a doubt.
Yeah, she was my best. Sorry, Mark. She was my best bet on the grass. Tapeta, it's a question mark. I don't know, but she chased the stakes winner in stakes horse, and she's so spicy last time. This post is perfect. She'll just have to prove it today on the Tapeta.
She's still the one to beat. Now, what about the number 1 you wanted to show a replay of Starship Impulsive?
Yeah, she was good. Again, this is on the turf, but watch her level out nicely here. She's going to tip out and just roll here. Steve Dwoskin's gotten going a little bit. He's got 3 wins in the last 2 weeks. This is a horse that could fit the flow of this race. They're going to go very fast early. Safi's got the private purchase coming in off a layoff. That is the 7 who's going to fly early. So I think Starship Impulsive, splitting horses here too, showed some polish in this race, and she levels out nicely to win by 2 lengths when they put the blinkers on her too. I think she's very, very dangerous, and I think she's a must-use here, even though we are switching surfaces today.
Yeah, she ran very well. You could see them. Very important to maybe throw that horse somewhere on. You mentioned the 7 running Rio. I think this horse, for all the reasons you mentioned, Safi Joseph Jr., this horse comes in from Santa Anita. Hey, Safi's won 1,000 times doing this, so you don't know. You got to use him somewhere.
And you know what the coup she gets today? Right. All her works for Safi have been on the Tapeta.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yep, that is very important. So that is race number 8. Then we go to race number 9 in here. And as Brian mentioned, his 2 horses that he used was the 2 Long Gone Sally and the 5 GG Story. Same with me. Let's see that video of those 2, and then we'll make our decisions here.
Yeah, this is the old race within a race, okay? Long Gone Sally's getting chased here on the lead, and they're going pretty quick. And GG's Story is behind her. And we're not going to show you the whole race, but this is a spot where GG's Story got all the best of it, and Long Gone Sally's already packing up here. The cue's been put in the rack here already. And still, she only loses by about a length to GG's Story. And just the flow of that race, to me, said GG's Story should have beaten her by a lot more. Now the big drop. I don't think she's going to have to work as hard on the front end today. I like her in this spot, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, I had to use it for all the reasons. I did go with GG's Story on top for the reasons that you mentioned. Just dropped to the level today. I think they both found their levels. You know, we have our exact flip-flop once again. Then we got Dude Ranch, who's turning back in distance today. You know, you look at his 2 races going 5.5. Not bad. They tried the mile 70 last time out. I don't know what happened there. It showed some early speed that said, no, I don't want to run this long.
Yeah, see, this is a tricky thing with horses like this because, okay, he doesn't want to route. She doesn't want to route. That's fine. Did she have to get beaten 40 lengths?
Yeah, and get a 0.
And get a 0? I don't know. Just because you say, oh, she's not routing anymore, she's okay. I think that's a little bit of a tricky proposition to me.
Yeah, but, you know, we've been mentioning Kent Sweezy. If anybody could wake him up, it's Kent Sweezy. Been doing fantastically here. So we'll see how that plays out. That is the 9 for us. We got almost 80,000, 75,000 in the pick 5 pool, but we're not done. We got our quick lightning round we want to show you this afternoon, and then we will head out and go to race number 1.
Take a shower and off here, I think is what we're going to do. Quickly, Coppola is back on Saturday looking for 3 in a row in the Silks run. He's the even money morning line favorite. We probably would have showed you the start of his races because he just outbreaks the gate in the field by 3 lengths and he's gone. He is on the rail on Saturday. Super Quest is second off a layoff. He's been so good for Dale Romans, Ron.
Yeah, this was post-12 that they didn't matter. He just, like you said, the time before they were questioning if he broke out of the gate beforehand, but he didn't. Once they watched the replay, he's ultra fast, and he's going to be fun to see.
Yep, without a doubt. And we have the Wiener Wednesday. We're hot dogs with Thirsty Thursdays we have. And you can get crispy bois drafts at the Breezeway, $2. $2,
that's pretty good. So we see how that goes in there. And then we've been dealing with best bets and long shots losing for whatever reason. So we got my long shot today that I'm keeping on, and it's race number 8. It is the 2 horse You Need Me, 15-1 on the morning line. It's a reach, but that's why you get 15-1 on some of these horses.
Well, you were the good soldier today because that was a turf pick, and you're still going to get the price on Tapeta, and got some Tapeta form as well. So good luck.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. So good luck to everybody out there. We'll turn it over to Pete ILO with all the scratches, changes, and then we'll be back for race 1.